The impossible just happened. Roman Reigns has been defeated. The entire WWE universe could hardly believe what they had just witnessed. The unstoppable tribal chief, Roman Reigns, the man who had dominated WWE for nearly 5 years, had finally fallen. And not to a veteran like Brock Lesnar or Seth Rollins, but to the wrecking ball known as Bronson Reed. At Crown Jewel 2025, under the glittering lights of Saudi Arabia, the energy was absolutely electric. Fans were roaring, cameras were flashing, and every single eye was locked on the main event, Roman Reigns versus Bronson Reed. The moment that bell rang, it was pure chaos. Reed came at Reigns like an absolute storm, slamming, smashing, and crushing through everything in his path. Roman, as he always does, fought back with the heart of a true warrior. A Superman punch here, a spear there, but tonight nothing seemed to work. Every single move that had once ended careers failed to put Reed away. And then it happened. When Bronson Reed leaped from the top rope with his devastating tsunami splash, the entire arena shook. 1, 2, 3. Roman Reigns, pinned clean, right in the middle of the ring. That night, the foundation of the Bloodline's empire cracked, and as Bronson Reed celebrated his monumental victory, Roman's expression shifted from pure shock to unbridled rage. Backstage, just moments after the match, the tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. Our cameras followed Roman Reigns as he stormed through the hallway, his championship dreams slipping away, fury burning in his eyes. Jimmy and Jey Uso stood by the locker room, heads down, knowing exactly what was coming. Solo Sikoa leaned against the wall, silent, unreadable, but even he looked uneasy. Roman burst into the room, slamming the door shut behind him. The camera shook. The sound of his voice thundered through the air. "You call yourselves family? You call yourselves the Bloodline?" Roman shouted, slamming both of his fists down on the table. "Where were you when I needed you out there? Where was the loyalty that built this entire dynasty?" Jey tried to step up. "Use, we were ringside." "Quiet," Roman snapped, his voice echoing. "You were ringside, yeah, watching me lose, watching your tribal chief fall because none of you had the guts to step up when it mattered." The Usos exchanged a nervous look. Jimmy muttered, almost under his breath, "You told us to stay out of it." Roman turned slowly, his eyes locking onto Jimmy. "Don't you dare twist my words. When I said stay out, I didn't mean let me lose." The room went completely silent. The aura around Roman was terrifying. A volatile mix of wounded pride, consuming anger, and deep humiliation. Roman began to pace back and forth, breathing heavily. "For years, I carried this family on my back. I made you stars. I gave you main events, respect, everything. And this is how you repay me?" But Jey couldn't stay silent any longer. "No, Roman. You didn't give us anything. We earned it. You used us to keep your title. But tonight, you lost because you weren't focused. You underestimated Bronson Reed." Those words hit Roman like a physical slap. The tension exploded. Roman stepped right up to Jey, nose to nose. "You think you can talk to me like that?" he growled, his voice low and dangerous. Jimmy tried to pull Jey back, but it was far too late. Roman shoved Jey hard against the wall. "You better watch your mouth before I remind you exactly who runs this bloodline." That's when Solo Sikoa finally stepped forward, placing himself between them. "Enough," he said, his tone cold and low. "You lost, Roman. It happens. But don't take it out on us." Roman turned his death glare toward Solo. "You too, huh? The quiet one wants to play leader now?" The room felt like it was about to explode into a full-blown brawl. Roman pointed a shaking finger at the Usos and Solo. "You all made me look weak tonight. You made the tribal chief look like a fool. Do you have any idea what that means? Our enemies are watching. The Bloodline name means nothing now because of you." Jey fired right back, his voice filled with years of frustration. "No, Use. It means nothing because of you. The Bloodline isn't about fear. It's supposed to be about family, and you forgot that a long, long time ago." For a moment, the air froze. Roman's jaw tightened. He raised his hand as if he was about to strike Jay, but Solo caught his wrist midair. Everyone in the room gasped. Solo's cold, unwavering stare met Roman's furious eyes. "Not tonight," Solo said quietly, but with absolute finality. "You've gone too far." Roman yanked his hand free, his face a mask of disbelief and betrayal. "You're going to side with them? After everything I've done for you?" Solo didn't answer. He simply turned his back on Roman. That silence said everything. The once unbreakable Bloodline, the most dominant faction in modern WWE history, was falling apart right before our very eyes. Roman stood alone in the middle of the locker room, breathing heavily as his family walked out on him, one by one. Jimmy left first, just shaking his head in disappointment. Jay followed, muttering, "It's over, Use." Solo was the last to leave, and his cold, quiet exit was the final dagger in the heart of the tribal chief. As the camera zoomed in, Roman's expression changed. The rage faded, and was replaced by something we rarely ever see from him: fear. For the first time in years, the tribal chief looked human. He slowly sat down, staring at his own hands, then at the empty space where his family once stood beside him. The echo of the Usos' footsteps faded down the hallway, leaving Roman completely alone with the deafening silence of his own downfall. The Bloodline wasn't just broken. It was finished. The screen faded to black as Roman whispered almost to himself, "Maybe they were right." And just like that, the once unshakable empire of the Bloodline collapsed into ashes. But one question now burns in the mind of every single WWE fan. Can Roman Reigns rebuild his throne? Or is the era of the tribal chief truly over? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. What's next for Roman and the former members of the Bloodline? Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content.